The idea started in 2006, but the format we had at the time didn't really produce the connections that we were hoping for. And so after the economic downturn and changes, we actually invited about 120 faith leaders, interfaith leaders, to come to an event that the mayor was hosting, and she had written a letter. We all helped to come up with a wonderful wording as to help transform the city through faith in action. So we had these 120 leaders that came in, and we asked them, what is the issue that is affecting your congregations the most? And through 12 table discussion being facilitated by city staff, we collected data. And through consensus, they identified the top 6. The main issue is addictions, then family disintegration, they want to strengthen the family. Then jobs, you know, we started this last year, 2012. Education, the fact that we need to tweak, we need to make some changes to get our kids to learn and to come out prepared. Homelessness and human trafficking. And so then we asked them to help us develop ideas for how we could transform the community through these topics. And we've been meeting since last August as work groups in these 6 areas, and some amazing things have happened because we don't always just talk. We actually create different initiatives or just bring them to give them information about what's happening. So you say, well, why should I even follow government? I mean, government, I have to stay away from government. But what our city does, because we have some amazing leaders here that understand that we have to be working with the community, because we cannot solve these issues unless we all work together. So even though right now it's a faith initiative, it really is a community initiative, because in order to deal with the addictions, we have nonprofits that are part of it, we have volunteers, we have government, we have businesses, and so it is a community that comes in to have these meetings, to have the dialogue. And so just a recent thing that we just had, and there's so many different stories, but the group that's in the addictions work group actually wrote grants, and we had an event where we brought a national organization, is the Association of Children of Alcoholics. So already it's a sad title, but what they did is that we had 200 individuals came in. The group found its own money to pay so that the faith leaders and all the folks that are dealing with addictions in the community would be able to learn something new. I know nothing about substance abuse, addictions, recovery, anything. But when I watched how they all stood up, gave a standing ovation to these trainers, because you could see that what had been taught switched their thought process. They said, this is easy, I can do it. And so this is the kind of thing that is happening through our collaboration in connecting the faith leaders to this amazing world that exists outside their, their 4 walls, their houses of worship. So
wow, it is amazing. I mean, I see the spark. I get it. You know, I mean, because really everybody means well. So basically, we're facilitators and bringing everybody together, saying you're doing something great, and you're doing something great, you're doing something great, or you all want to.
You got it.
And you've got a common theme. Let's work together and bring in all the ideas we possibly can.
That's right. This ground, when we have our meetings, is a neutral ground. You come from anywhere in the region, Henderson, Boulder City, the county, the city, North Las Vegas. We are the only initiative right now, Faith Initiative. And when you walk in to these walls and to our meetings, it's a facilitating, because you're going to learn what's happening, what's working. How does what you do fit into the whole regional effort? So if you're, let's say homelessness, if you're working with homelessness and you're feeding or you're providing clothing, how does that match with what's being done regionally? You will find out if you come here. If that's your passion, come, because we will connect you with all of the resources that you need. We have so much need, and we need resources. So there exists a wish list.
What's happening again in January? Now explain that to me.
Well, in January, we're going to be discussing how the whole community can rescue or nurture neighborhood schools. And so what we're looking at is how do you we have to work with the partnership office, and they're the ones, their staff set up appointments with principals in these neighborhood groups, because you don't want people just going over to school. Right,
yeah.
You don't want that, and you're not going to have any success if you do it that way. But if the partnership office contacts the principal and identifies needs, so if they need food for the food bank, or if they need paper or supplies, or if they need someone to come and read, if it's an elementary school, maybe they just need someone to come in daily to read to the kids, to help them read, as you found out that the kids, even by third grade, still can't read. So there's certain goals that can be met with some simple participation from our community. We have retired school teachers. We have retired individuals who may be looking for once a week and developing that little relationship with a young person, either a middle school or elementary school. It's fascinating to me. So how can you help? Well, we are in the process of developing that. You can also, if you're a civic group, a Kiwanis or any kind of civic group, and you want to participate, let's do it, because you're part of the community and you can be part of the solution, and that could be your goal, to adopt a school. They have parent-teacher nights, and many times they want to offer food so that the parents will come to the 6:30 meeting without eating. And so if you offer food, it makes it more successful.
You just never know until you ask.
That's right.
How do you know what people really need?
So there are some great opportunities, and I know that when we start promoting and we bring, I'd love to be able to do something with the partnership office staff so they can talk about what needs to happen. We'll also have information on the website on how you can become a mentor, because there are mentors for middle schools and for the high school, and there's also ways that you can mentor in the elementary school. It's just a little different. There is no application for that. The school will do the background check. You can't really be around the kids unless you go through that.
Thank goodness.
And so you get a little 3-hour training. I've been through it. It's very simple, and you get a manual, and they tell you how you can, what are things that you can talk about, how you can, what's allowed, not allowed, but just in a beautiful way. The manual is wonderful.
Well, I'll tell you what, since we don't have the website, and we can keep looking at the city address, give your number one more time, because there may be somebody watching us right now that thinks, maybe I can put a little time into something.
My number is 229-6681, and I just hope that we will hear from someone soon.
Well,
so I know somebody's watching our little conversation.
There's somebody there with time on their hands. They're watching TV right now.
Yes.
Well, don't stop doing that. Maria, thank you very much for giving us the broad stroke, and we'll zero in and look at some other projects down the road.
I'd love to tell you about them.
Okay.